Sure. So
Sorry.
it used to be that there was a $7,500 federal tax incentive on the Leaf. Now, there is not at this point.
Okay.
Where it has changed for 2024, basically.
And that has to do with where they're getting their batteries or something
Well,
like that?
right now it's because Nissan sold too many Leafs. So it was back in the day that with the $7,500, there was a certain amount of allotments for those federal tax rebates that each of these manufacturers had.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And then it ran out for most of them last year.
Like the Bolts and the Teslas and stuff reached their limit, yada yada. But then when they came out with this new law that happened a couple of years ago, 1 or 2 years ago. Yeah, okay.
So now with these rebates,
there's no cap on the number.
Yep. And it's a state level one. So the $8,100 is not from the federal government.
Yeah.
It's from Colorado State. And so what it is it's not the same as it used to be, where like a lot of people in the past would buy these EV cars. They would opt to have it just be a rebate on their income taxes. So in the past, you weren't able to put these rebates in the actual deal. It was something that was just came off of your federal income taxes. So if you owed money at the end of the year,
you had to wait for tax time to finally get your money.
Yep. So that's how it worked before. Now with the new law, it is a Colorado, the energy efficient vehicle, or the electric vehicle rebate, which is actually applied at the time of sale. We file it to the state, so you don't have to file anything, and it is part of the deal itself instead of something that comes off of your taxes. Right. So, for instance, I bought an electric vehicle last year, and it had the $7,500 federal, or no, sorry, with the...
You bought, not leased.
Leased, sorry.
Last year, in 2023, you bought, not leased.
I actually leased.
Oh, you did lease?
I did lease, yeah. I leased a Aria, which had the $7,500 rebate from Nissan. So that is not a federal tax rebate. That's just a rebate from the manufacturer. And basically, the reason why they put that rebate is because the Aria doesn't qualify for the $7,500 federal, because everything's made in Japan. So the $7,500 that I had as a rebate from Nissan was applied at the time of sale, and then I got the $5,600 rebate at the time of sale from the state. And the difference between how it used to work and how it worked now is that I didn't get to claim any energy efficient vehicle tax breaks on my taxes, because they were put in the purchase itself. So when you do your taxes next year, you're not going to put on there, oh, I need an EV rebate, I need this kind of rebate. All of that you don't file in there. It's all applied at the time of sale to the vehicle selling price. So that's the difference. So you're not going to get a call from, the IRS saying that, it's just so long as you don't make over the income cap, which you've already said you don't. That would be the only time you wouldn't get it, is if, you didn't qualify for your income-based stuff. But since you don't, there's nothing that's going to get filed in your taxes that's going to say, hey, he received this big tax break. It'll all just be part of the vehicle sale itself.
Yeah, so if I'm making sure I'm understanding you. Yeah. As part of this, me taking this car, from the IRS's point of view, the state of Colorado's point of view, whatever, nobody, Nissan or whatever, isn't fronting me the money today that I need to make sure I capture in my taxes later. That's not going on at all.
Yeah, it's a rebate that's being applied at the time of sale, and you're paying taxes on that rebate. But in your case, with the lease deal, we're actually paying those taxes as part of our buy down, which is why it's such a cheap lease. So it would be $1,141 would be the tax you would have been paying if it wasn't for our special. Instead, we're actually paying that as part of your taxes on the rebates and your first payment. So you're not going to have anything that you're going to need to claim on next year's taxes as far as electric vehicle credits, because everything is actually just part of this lease agreement. It's not something that you're going to file separately for. So that's the difference from now and the way it used to be. In the past, those EV credits were things that you needed to put in your taxes. And so if you didn't have it right, you might not qualify. And I had several customers back then, do that, where they say, oh, well, I'm getting $7,500 federal tax rebate. But then, maybe they don't pay taxes at the end of the year. Say they have their taxes set up so that it's just a net zero at the end, or they make way too much. In those cases, those people didn't get $7,500 back as a refund. In their case, it was a wash. But now, the way it works now is it is a rebate using the Colorado Clean Energy Rebate, and it's actually part of the deal itself. It's not a separate tax issue that you're going to have to worry about after the fact. And to be honest, I had been explained all of that, and I didn't quite grasp it until I went to go file my taxes this last year. And when I plugged in the vehicle I purchased, I was going through all the numbers and was like, okay, I'm not putting anything on there other than the registration fees for the car. I'm not putting anything as far as clean energy rebates or stuff like that. So it's a little different, but my advice to you is that you shouldn't have to worry, because if you don't outdo the income qualification, then there's no rebate that you're going to have to worry about next year for taxes, because it's all just part of this deal. It's not something that you're going to have to file separately.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.